Hi, welcome to another episode of No Smoke, Just Vapor. I'm Asanda Goy, your host. Today, I'm joined by Miss Colleen Taylor from a company called WhatSAThinks. We'll let Colleen tell us what the company does and why she's here with us. Colleen, welcome.
Thank you so much, Asanda.
So, Colleen, tell me, what is WhatSAThinks?
WhatSAThinks is the long version, mystery shopping and consumer insights agency.
Okay.
What we do is we partner with companies. They identify what their requirements are. Sometimes it's not even a requirement. They're happy with how their business is running. Obviously, looking to improve. We partner with them. We set up a program, and everything is done in a collaborative sense. And we run a program with them.
You mentioned mystery shopper.
Yes.
What exactly is mystery shopper?
Mystery shopping it's where you go in as an ordinary customer. Okay. There's certain criteria and a focus that you go into your visits with. So you evaluate the service and you report back on it.
So with initiating a mystery shopper initiative from a company that's consumer facing,
right.
What would one assume is the main objective of it?
Main objective, it's to uncover any hidden issues that you wouldn't normally be aware of. Let's say your normal feedback mechanism doesn't give you tone of voice. Doesn't show your body language, that sort of a thing. If you're running a program, employee accountability. Okay. If they know that they've been mystery shopped, they tend to up their game. More professional. They're aware of it. So those are a couple of things, and also to identify if there's any training gaps. If there's any training that needs to be done, if there's a certain product knowledge that is picked up by a series of mystery shoppers, if the staff are consistently not answering the questions correctly, then you have identified a training need and a training gap there.
So in an industry, a nascent industry like the vaping industry, that's often surrounded with controversies. I mean, it's nascent, it's new, and one would expect that there's quite a lot of potential areas of improvement when you look in particular with the issue of youth access prevention.
Correct.
You've been involved with the vaping industry. So just give us an overview what that work entailed. And we'll get into the specifics of some of the insights that you gained from that.
With the youth access program, we've been doing it for the past few years, so we're fairly well, versed where that is concerned. The issues facing the vaping industry, there is your age verification protocol. So your compliance is of utmost importance. So and education when you're going in. As well, staff need to be informed as to what you need to do. If there's you feeling like this looks like an underage person come to the shop, there's nothing wrong with you stopping them and asking for identification. So those sort of things we pick up on, and we've run a series of programs. We have had underage go in, and we get the feedback with regards to that.
So in the vaping industry specifically, there's hundreds of shops around the country. Have you focused on one region, one particular area? How have the programs
It's been a nationwide program. Okay. So we've touched on each province. Obviously you have your chain as well. Chain vape shops as well. But your individual vape businesses as well.
So an ordinary person comes in, and in the particular case of a young person, they go into a shop. And they buy a product.
Correct.
So what have you found to be some of the, I'd say, challenges when it comes to the vaping industry and how they respond to those issues of young people coming in?
If you have the gut feeling, you look underage, have the system in place, have the protocol in place. Can I see your identification? If you do have identification, wonderful, we can continue. if we don't, but it's all handled in a professional manner on the part of the vape businesses. In terms of online sales, your age verification pop-up that comes on if you're going to be doing that. In terms of a challenge with your online sales, your business could be doing everything correct, but then you also have third party, because if you're delivering product, that is now a third party that are they on the same standard and protocol as you as your business. Is that check being done when products is delivered? So that is a challenge in that in the vaping industry there.
So the individuals that you choose to be part of Mystery Shopper, do they have to be trained? How does it work?
No, they have to be, because the vaping industry is such a specialized niche market.
Okay.
We need to understand your laws, your regulations. We need to understand the products. We need to understand your levels of nicotine that goes into the products. So in effect, we need to be actually an employee of a vape business. So that sort of education they need to know up front. So if you're going into a vape store to make a purchase, you know what to expect and what the standard should be.
Yes.
You understand? So they have to be trained. And there's a focus that with the vaping industry, you know exactly what your focus has to be, what you are measuring, what you need to identify. But again, I can't your compliance is very, very important.
So you've mentioned you've been doing this for a couple of years with the vaping industry.
Correct.
Can you just give us a sense of how your findings have changed over the number of times that you've done it? Because one would assume the first time you do it, I mean, the industry would have performed dismally.
Yes.
And I know you started with members of an association, and then you opened it up. Yes. So just juxtapose those differences.
So initially in the beginning, when we started the program, like you say, there were areas that needed to we highlighted that needed to be tightened up. Yeah. The process of a mystery shop, you go in and you see what your problems are, you get the baseline. Right? From the baseline, that is when your training needs to occur. Yeah. So your staff are informed these are the problem areas. You retrain and you address those problems. Then you call us in again and we go in and we assess, has this now improved? So initially from the first phase that we started and continuing over the years, it's improved dramatically. Dramatically. Whereby before online there were not certain age verifications. Yes. It is in place now. Yes. There's still a lot of room for improvement, etc. But it has improved over the years.
And how do you guys because I'm thinking now, if as a vaping business and someone tells me you are selling to underage, the first response would be, no, I'm not. That's not true. Yes. So how do you help companies provide the evidence? Yes. To say, okay, it's not just me who's saying it. We actually have evidence. Do you have evidence? Yes. And what's the significance of having that?
That's where you come and you partner with the business. You set up your questionnaire. Okay. Number one, that's one way of doing it. Various formats you could use. You could use video. You could use audio, which identifies when they're going into the shop, etc. And we have used underage. So if you've got the details as well to back up that they are underage. You understand? So we present then that information to the client. Yes. And from there.
So you say you've used underage, and I'm sure our viewers at home are thinking, but you are against underage, so why would
we have to see if you are complying with it?
Yes, but what's the process of getting consent for the use of underage?
For the use of underage, we have consent from the parents, parental consent. That is consent. It cannot take place without parental consent. It's not to catch out anybody. That's never their intention. It is always just to ensure that your standards are there. Let's, continue with that standard and that protocol.
If you had to pick out one area from your experience that requires further intervention from the experiences of the mystery shoppers where the vaping industry is concerned, what would that be?
Tighten up where the requesting for ID. Take the position of 21 and over.
Yeah.
Even though you're legally allowed to under the age of 18, but higher the age, make it to 25, so you eliminate that problem altogether. So if somebody is young looking and they're over the age of 18, they don't have a problem handing over the ID. It is just the way you carry the point across to your customer. I hope you don't mind. Just want to see your ID just to check. Simple. A customer appreciates that more than taking offense, one could say.
Yes. And I mean, just looking to the future, obviously the vaping industry is growing in leaps and bounds. Your area of work is quite significant. I mean, in terms of not just for the vaping industry, but in informing, pointed marketing strategies for companies.
We're moving into and mystery shopping and market research equally is evolving as well. The use of AI and big data analytics and the ability to deliver real-time feedback. That is where we're moving towards. So having an app minute there, you're going into a store, anything, you identifying issues that need to be dealt with. So if you're not compliant, saves the company a lot of money in fines or whatever. Listen, this is what is occurring. We can do it in real time, and it gets sorted out that way. So it's a big move towards using real time data gathering, which we all got to move with that. People want the instant information. The quicker you can resolve a problem, the better.
And I mean, if you know where the vaping industry is, this is just off the issue of market research in terms of regulation, and the biggest thing is the fact that young people are able to access these programs. Do you think having initiatives like these that are proactive from an industry perspective is something that's significant for the regulators to take into account?
No, for sure, definitely. It's hard when your businesses are doing and pushing and maintaining the protocol and pushing for compliance and so forth. But when you go into a different business, so to speak, that does send it freely to your underage market, it creates a problem. It creates a problem. For instance, this is my experience. I was actually in a chain in Cape Town. A student came in. He was still in uniform, and the staff behind the counter said, "I'm sorry, I'm not unable to serve you. You're actually here in school uniform." And afterwards, just the staff member said to me, they will just go into one of your supermarket chains and be able to. So you're having also to be in sort of a membership and the accountability in that way. You're maintaining the standard, you're maintaining the protocol that needs to, and you're compliant. But
if someone else is going to sell anyway,
it gives a bad reputation to the industry that's trying to be compliant, and just causes a bad light on the business as a whole.
And I guess that's the big challenge that the industry has, because we hear of proxy buying, where young people, if it's not them coming in, they'll find an uncle on the corner there to say, "I'll give you 20 Rand, please just go buy for me." So it's something.
How do you combat that? That is something that's unfortunately not even us as a mystery shopping company can combat that.
Yes, but you fill a very important gap. Because it informs, I guess, from a vaping point of view, how should our education and awareness campaigns be structured? Because that information we wouldn't have if you didn't have such initiatives.
Correct. And it's also important, the staff need to be able to educate the consumer, moving towards a more healthier lifestyle. The information must be carried across correctly. Because say you're a smoker, you're wanting to get off, you eventually stop smoking, you need the information. And that's just another little area that we identify. Is it enough information that's being conveyed to the consumer? Because it's health decisions that you are, you're actually making.
Yes.
Because your intention is to give up smoking. So, using the product to assist you. So that education, training, and compliance are one of the three areas we've focused on and received feedback on.
That's excellent. Colleen, I think we'll leave it there.
We're leaving it there.
Thank you so much for your time. As you've heard, it's really important that the industry doesn't do these kinds of things by themselves. It's a matter of the right kind of education, ensuring that consumers can make an informed choice. It's about compliance from a business point of view to ensure that you are doing your part in making sure that young people do not have easy access to vaping products. So with that, thank you very much for joining us, and see you next time.